It's the beginning of a Friday show. What is up, everybody? It seems like it's super dark in here because I have this camera set to something weird. Hold on. Oh, it got darker. Let's get it a little bit lighter in here. What is up? Why is this weird? Oh, I have this. I don't know. I have stuff turned all weird. What's up? It's Friday, everybody. I'm going to have to switch to the other cam here in just a second. Anyhow, so let's just leave it. Let's just let it be super weird for now, right? What is going on here? Why am I all... There, I'll just make myself blue for the beginning. That's a good way to do it because Alyssa Bentley is here. We're going to get to her in just a second. I just want to say what's up. How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a Friday. Somebody's saying audio. I feel like I have the audio turned on this time, even though I screwed it up on Monday. But it's a good thing that I'm blue. Let me see if I can't go a different color. There we go. I'll just be like kind of a sprightly purple. We'll call it a sprightly purple. That works pretty good for us. We got some super chats to grab here real quick. I want to just give a shout out to everybody who's super chatted or ever supported this show. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys appreciate it. I try to do my best. I've been kind of taking a break from YouTube. I've been fiddling with editing videos. I think I'm changing my whole video strategy of what I'm how I'm editing them and how I'm making them. So, you know, sorry for the people that really want the edited stuff, but there's 1,200 videos on there. I don't know what else to tell people that are like, make a new video. I'm like, I'm recording stuff, I'm filming things, but, you know, I'm making some changes in my life, you guys. I'm going to start eating good. I do actually already eat pretty good, but I got to work out more. I haven't been working out a lot. And, yeah. So
get one of them pull-up bars. In like the
I have one down here, but the ceiling's not high enough.
No, do it upstairs.
I can't put a pull-up bar upstairs.
Why not? In the doorway.
I'm just going to work out in the living area? Like in the living room? Get out of here. That's ridiculous. Only ridiculous people do that. But it is a beautiful Friday, and I'll give a shout-out to everybody that has super chatted here. Big D Smoke says, yay, he's got his new credit card, his new debit, whatever. He's got his new debit card. I don't know how to read today, so we'll see how this goes. But thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Rumbust with the Swedish Krones 2117 Swedish kroner, which is 2,117 days sober. I appreciate it. I've been sober this whole damn time, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than getting hammered or whatever. But Fisheye on Tank Ticks with a $2 super chat asking, I think was asking if there's sound. Yes, there is sound. We had the sound turned off because we were dropping F-bombs at the beginning of the show here, so we had to mute on because it was like, hey, man, you can't be dropping F-bombs, otherwise you get demonetized. But I will say, Alvin Alejo with the $5 super chat pretty much just nullified whether or not we accidentally slip an F-bomb in this show, because that's enough to monetize this whole ding-dang thing anyhow. So regardless of YouTube's demonetization, they'll probably, we'll be good. Thanks, Alvin says, Alyssa, you never got the cobwebs, but they are still there. What cobwebs?
No, they were actually on whatever equipment that was right here, which is no longer right there. And so therefore the cobwebs are also gone.
Cobwebs are gone. All right, let's bring in our guest of the day, which is, I got to click this button over here. Boom, shakalaka. I don't look like a weird space alien anymore, but I do have to change our camera angle.
Oh.
No, it's not you. Stay where you're at.
Oh, okay.
Stay where you're at, otherwise it gets all sorts of crazy. And I'm gonna. Oh, is that the? Where's the?
Also, my mic's way far away.
Mic's way far away. I had that lens all zoomed in on you for some reason, so I'll just walk it back just a little bit.
People just need to be able. Can you count my pores for me? I mean,
1, 2, 5, 10. Here I can do something for you. I'll make you purple or something. Oh, there we go. I'll desaturate you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, there we go.
I need to look more like a vampire.
More like a ghosty vampire.
Yes.
There, we'll make you super contrasty. Yes.
Caitlin Troutfish.
Yes, that is Caitlin from...
Oh, hi, Caitlin. How you doing?
The Coop. Isn't it kind of funny when you see somebody in chat or something like that you're like, I know you in the real world.
I know you from real life,
Yeah.
for real, for really real.
Yeah, we dig that. Everybody digs that, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, my camera is set to I'm all super red. So why don't I make myself all not super? Look at that. You can make yourself super duper red. And I don't want to be all red because I'm not all sunburned. There. I wouldn't mind actually being all sunburned right now, though. Would be cool. We're in the depths of the sadness that is Western Washington's winter.
It is just gray out.
But this weekend begins our climb from the depths. We start down here in the depths of sadness, darkness, but this weekend, daylight savings. Boom! We get another hour of madness where we can run around outside and yell and scream at the heavens. And
Is it sad? I had no idea.
what?
I was just thinking about how it's leap year.
What, is there a day tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow is also February, even though it's the 28th today.
Oh, tomorrow's also February.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess if I wanted to, I could try to appease the YouTube gods and try and release a video tomorrow.
Well,
We'll see. I'm not guaranteeing anything.
like, I know that it's still February tomorrow because my sister's partner is officially turning 8. He's officially had 8 actual birthdays
Oh,
tomorrow.
does that make him like 400 years old or something?
No, he's like 32.
That's ridiculous. No one's actually 32. We can't believe those. What? Just the youth? What is this? The youth of America? 32?
That's true. I know that I personally went from 31 to 33 and skipped 32 entirely. 32 is not a real number.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine anybody falling for that. Oh, whoops, I'm changing I clicked your button here. Oh, there we go. I had that thing open and I accidentally clicked on it, and you got super bright. I'm going to move you over a little bit, though. There we go. Now we'll be able to see the Patreon posts, and considering I was trying to move that a little bit, there. Now it's centered. Now it's in the middle. Cindy Middle, as they say.
That works for me.
Cindy Middle. I don't know if you ever met Cindy Middle. She's a little different from Cindy Walken. You know, you're like, hey, where are the eggs? Or no, where's the steak? I need some steak. Cindy Walken.
I have no idea what you were talking about. That's
Well,
okay.
If you've ever worked with a Hispanic fella with a sense of humor in a restaurant and you're looking for something and it's in the walk-in,
Oh.
that's a walk-in cooler to you folks out there that have never worked in a restaurant. You have a fridge that you can walk into.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And we've got this big bright number down here at the bottom, which I may or may not change the color of during the show. Wow, I almost burped. Sorry, guys. I don't know what that was. Probably because I haven't eaten any food today. Should probably consider eating some food today. Yes, we have dropped down to 82. We reached a pinnacle of 84, but now we are back to 82 YouTube members. That's what this number is right down here. I'll move it around on the screen in case anyone is confused. We're up to 82 members. We're trying to eclipse the 100 mark. I don't know if we ever will. I thought we would get right past 100 super fast.
You'd think
And
so.
then I was wrong. Which, once again, in my life, I was wrong again. I was like, check me out. I've got a thing like I'm going to be right about. And then, boom, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks. Because it's one thing to, like, you know, misspeak. You know what I mean? Which I do that regularly, especially, like, on the internet.
And then it's an entirely other thing to think that you're correct about something and then turn out that you're really, really wrong.
Oh, yeah. That has happened. Yeah, that's happened, too.
It's like,
sure.
oh, dear.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. Check it out, guys. We have to change the number. What do we got here? What do we got?
83?
Yes. We have gone up to 83. It's Nature Man coming in at the standard level of audience-backed participation.
Hey, man.
Thank
Standard
you.
is good.
You become a member. It goes into production and stuff. And I will tell you right now, we are working out whether or not we're going to be able to attend Interzoo this year in Germany, which is the big. I almost said carnival, but it's not a carnival. It's a convention for all of basically every aquarium. I guess every bigger aquarium manufacturing company, blah blah blah, products, lights, filters, all that kind of stuff. It's the biggest convention of the year. Although it's Interzoo, so there's also dog and cat and stuff like that. There, it is the biggest convention of the year, and it only happens every 2 years. So we're working on whether or not we're going to be able to go to that. It's going to be quite a bit of monies at this point, and thanks to the coronavirus, which has been going wild in the news,
right?
I'm trying to figure out whether it's going to be actually happen or be canceled, because a lot of the vendors that are there are from China, and I
know they're still quarantined and stuff.
Well, it's not whether or not they're quarantined or not. It's that they're just not attending. Just because, well, I'm not saying that they're not attending Interzoo. They've decided to not attend other big conventions. Like CP Plus is a perfect example, which is a big photography convention, which is supposed to be this weekend. It's supposed to be this weekend in Japan, and they're just not even doing that convention at all. Because they're trying to kind of restrict travel and stuff like that. Now, my reason for bringing that up is like, okay, well, I guess we got to make sure that we have refundable tickets and whatnot. And nowadays, you have to buy insurance.
Really?
To get a refundable ticket. That's the way they do it now.
Huh.
And considering it's such a sizable amount of airfare and stuff that we're, it's a lot of money. So it's not really something that you want to just be like, oh, well, shucks, you know. It's like, I'll put it this way. It's like totaling a car that didn't have insurance. Yeah. And so then it's an extra $600 to buy the insurance.
Oh, man.
So that, so basically, like, if it gets canceled and we're like, well, there's not really a big reason to go to Germany on that specific time.
Right.
Right. Because I think my alternative right now is Portugal. I think if Interzoo doesn't happen, my plan is to try to just go to Portugal, because the biggest Planet Aquarium in the world is in Portugal.
Cool.
It's the last tank that Takashi Amano did.
Oh, really?
It's the I can never remember the name of it, and I feel like a total douche for never being able. There's like I have blind spots in my brain, guys, because of too much head trauma and other
reasons.
Yeah. LSD probably. Anyhow, so I can never remember it, but it's Takashi Amano's, like, it's this giant aquarium. George Farmer did a video about it recently, maybe 6 months ago or something like that. He actually got to finally visit it and do a film there. So I think that would be the alternative to, like, if Interzoo didn't happen and we still had the time off and we had the credit to book the tickets, I think that's what we would do. I don't know. I might be wrong. Be sure to tell me in the comments later if anybody actually watches this, like, what do you think would be a good alternative? Obviously, flying to China wouldn't be a good alternative.
Right.
You know, plus it's difficult to just travel to China on a random, because you have to send your passports in and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's weird. Like, if you're going to China, you have to send your passports into the embassy ahead of time.
Huh.
So they hold on to your passport while you're there. It's weird.
That is weird.
But I was thinking Portugal for the reason that the giant tank is there. Plus, there seems to be a good Planet Tank community there. And I'm interested in Portugal. My mom keeps telling me about it, because my mom and her husband, like, hiked all through Portugal, like the whole freaking country.
Mm-hmm.
Have I mentioned that before? My mom and her husband go on these, like, crazy hiking trips that are like 4 months long.
I think you've told me. I don't know if
Like,
you told the live stream.
They hike from one side of Spain to the other side of Spain.
Wow.
Like, on foot.
That's one of those things where it sounds like it's gigantic because we're in the U.S. And so it's like if you were to hike from Maine to Seattle, and it's like, oh, man.
It's doable.
Of course, it's doable. I mean, Lewis and Clark did it, right? So
It's doable.
yeah. But
Bro, there's roads now.
I know. It's even easier now. There's roads.
Well, the whole length of Spain, I think it would be like going from here to like Missoula on foot.
It's still a really long time.
Yeah. I think I was looking at the miles. I forget how many miles it was. It's something like
More pleasant weather, though.
it's something like 700, 600 miles or something goofy like that.
Oh.
Because it's in kilometers, and I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah.
The number doesn't pop up because, kilometers, I don't need that information. I don't need it. I don't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's feet. It's inches. I guess we use centimeters. We use centimeters.
Usually just for like medical and like fish measurements.
I guess
for
we
instance.
use centimeters, but it's more like, is that a quarter of an inch? No, it's 3/8, bruh. Oh, well, that's not confusing at all, is it?
Right.
The millimeters things throws me off, though.
Really?
That one throws me off. Throws me for a loop. I don't even, because I was trying to buy some pipe. Right?
I think you're 8 years old too.
I was trying to buy some pipe, and it was in millimeters, so it was like 144 millimeters long. And I'm like, how long is that? And I just started looking around, and then I had a stroke, and I just decided, never mind. I'm just, forget.
It's
Forget about it.
14.4 centimeters.
Yeah, so I'm like, how many centimeters is that? Well, hold on. Let's look it up over here. Let's see.
I think that's about the length of a bristlenose pleco.
144 millimeters to inches. There we go. What do we got? What's your guess? I bet you can read it from over there.
I can, but I did
Your
say
stupid eyes work that good?
yeah, I have contacts, man.
Oh. Well, you're cheating. All right.
Cheating
If you
by
ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win or something.
something like that.
Football. America. What do you got? 5.6 inches, huh?
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
not a-
about as big as a bristlenose pleco, an adult one.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in there. I don't know how you were able to come up with that, but
Because I look at a lot of information online that has mostly centimeters.
centimeters and millimeters.
Yeah, so
Hey.
I'm like, they grow to be about this
Alyssa,
big.
hey,
What?
we missed a super chat.
We did?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
no.
$5 super chat from Dakota Davies, who Dakota is. I would say that Dakota, I would put the moniker onto Dakota. Very supportive of the show and the channel. So I'm not sure what moniker I was trying to come up with. Like I was going to be like, you award winning, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
You could be wearing a medal. I don't know. I'm weird. Just a quick continuance of my Discord question. Is there another small, medium tank or kit you would recommend? Thanks in advance. Let's bust into this because I was actually thinking about this just a little while ago. I was like, oh, we should probably get that on the show. Which, if you guys notice, you can get stuff on the show if you're on the Patreon. You can just post it on here on Friday. I talk about whatever people post on there, barring any kind of like something that's beyond the community standards.
Right. It would have to be.
Adult content, we don't partake in adult content. We are
No.
like children and laugh at purchasing pipe.
Yes. I don't have coffee, so I sipped pretend coffee.
I make fart noises when I sip on my coffee. But Dakota was saying, what small, medium tank kit would I recommend? And I will say this. I was going to show it to Alyssa earlier, but she got hung up in traffic or whatever. You only got here with like
10 minutes to
10,
spare.
15 minutes before
It
the
was
show.
real.
So
It was real slim margin.
we were just shouting at the devil, a.k.a. the government, before we got going. And I didn't show her the tank, but I did pick up a tank from, I guess let me find the Amazon link for it. I got to put a disclaimer on here, though, guys. If you click on the link and buy stuff, it gives a kickback to the channel. The FTC requires me to remind people of that, and I do my best to do that. So if the FTC is listening, this is a sponsored link. I've had to order a bunch of tiny little parts recently, so now I've got all these dumb orders in the way. Oh, here it is. So it's a boutique beta rimless low iron glass aquarium tank, and it's 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Hold on, how many?
So it's like a gallon or 2 gallons?
Let's go 20, not millimeters. We want centimeters, right? So it's like 8 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches.
Oh, so like 9 gallons or so?
No. Because 12 by 12 by 12 is 7.9
oh, you're right.
gallons. So this is more like 2.1 gallons. This is a little 2-gallon tank. It was $30. I ordered it off of, it was 30 or something bucks. I ordered it off of Amazon. It showed up at my house super fast. It's low iron glass, so I do have to say the clarity's pretty good. The seams look pretty good. It wasn't broken. It was shipped really well. And I was happy. I would say I was happy for $30, and I didn't have to go anywhere. So it was a great little 2-gallon tank, and here's the link for it. So if you guys click through that, buy a whole bunch of computers or whatever, like buy a whole bunch of stuff. When you go there, because you don't have to. But I'm just saying, like, if you happen to go buy a bunch of stuff,
right,
we get some of the advertising credit. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's literally like if you're going there to buy groceries. Hold on, I was looking at this earlier today. Where was it? Somebody had purchased. Crap, where is it? It was funny, but I don't want to. Oh, where did it go? Oh, it's because I don't have enough results per page. Somebody bought. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. Reading. Most of the stuff is fish tank related. Oh, here it is. Somebody bought this dog brush.
Oh, a slicker brush.
A picker brush?
Slicker brush.
Is it slicker?
Yep.
Oh, slicker. Yeah, okay, slicker brush.
Oh, it does say that. Okay,
yeah, it
good.
Does say. Yeah. So somebody bought a slicker brush. I'm not sure. You got like a really hairy, fluffy dog. That's what that's for, right?
It's usually for short-haired dogs or shorter-haired dogs.
Oh.
Because if you have a really fluffy dog, oftentimes that won't do the trick.
All right. It's got 40% more pins than a big K.
Than a big K?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
That's probably a brand that they're calling out. Like, oh, you big K, you don't even have enough pins.
Yeah. I know is it's yet another kind of brush that my cat will not let me use.
Oh, is it for cats?
I don't know. It could be. Oh,
it could be, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
The cat was like meow meow and took off.
Something like that.
It was like nah.
Yeah.
And just bounced out.
Yeah. She was just like, what? And then she tried to bite me with her no teeth and then runs off.
And then ran away.
Yeah.
And
like 3 feet away. She's like, no.
She was like, nah, and just ran away.
Yeah.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, that's sad.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's sad for everybody involved, right?
She's fine. She's just cranky and old. I did want to mention really quick before we get into anything. Caitlin asked my opinion on the glow bettas. I want to see what their longevity is. I'm not personally interested in purchasing one for myself because I don't. They're not attractive to me, and
right, you're just not into it.
Yeah, I'm just not into it personally.
Yeah.
I can see why other people would be interested in it, just like a different variety and everything. It's the same reason why the koi bettas were so popular, probably still are so popular. But I want. I'm more interested in bettas that are healthy and live for 3-4 years or whatever. Because I miss that from the early days of the hobby when my bettas did live for a long time, and they don't anymore. And that kind of makes me sad. So
They're not living long? Why are they not living long?
I assume it's from overbreeding and poor breeding practices, and because I hear all the time now about bettas developing tumors, bettas just sort of puttering out at 6 months, you know, and I just it's not my favorite thing.
They're not going to make it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but so the glow bettas are brand new onto our scene anyway. And of course I've seen like 4 or 5 different YouTubers putting out their opinion on the glow bettas in the last week. And that's cool. And I'm interested in everybody's take on it. And I don't have one, and I don't have space for one, and I don't want to get an actinic light to make one fluoresce. And it's just my take on it. I don't hate them. They're just not for me. In the same way that I don't hate flower horns, but I'm not going to go get one either.
Yeah. You're not?
Nope.
Well, you should go get one, even though you don't like them. Because that's the rule, right?
Right. That's totally the rule.
That's how it goes. So what do you think about whether or not our glow betas, are they bad? Do you think that they're bad for the hobby or good for the hobby, or you don't care?
I don't think that they're bad for the hobby. I think they will attract a different subset of people in to the hobby. Yeah, humans, obviously. And
obviously, it's not obvious.
Well, I know it could be dolphins that are really interested in keeping glow bettas, but I doubt it. I doubt it a little bit.
I'm not a dolphin.
You're over there.
I can't make that noise. I can't even try. I've tried. I've tried and failed in the past.
But yeah, it's just not. I don't know. It's the same. It's the same thing as like the rose tail bettas, the ones that they can't swim really, and they has to have like kind of a miserable life, and it's not a thing that I am interested in.
Yeah, you're not.
No,
just not into it.
Okay, just for me.
That's why I've
gone to wild types now.
I personally, I don't really have an opinion on it. I wish I did, like, you know, but one of the things that I find often, especially with like the YouTube community, it's like people that are making videos about stuff, like they'll just get outraged about stuff like a glow beta, right? And then somebody will hit them with the science, basically, and then you'll find out like, oh, never mind, I'm not mad about it now, you know?
Right.
And I haven't read any of the science, so I just don't really have anything to say. I mean, other than I'm not into them.
The one thing that I think is cool about it is actually the science behind making these glow animals, because now there's several animals that they've made that glow or fluoresce, I suppose.
Yeah.
Is that they have to get the different colors. They use different genes from different creatures, because it's not like it's they're using just a jellyfish and everybody is, and then you're somehow getting blue and purple and pink and yellow and all the whole, you know,
gambit.
Yeah, the whole marker pack. You're not getting that. And so like they're using like different kinds of crazy slugs, and which I think is cool. I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't read enough about it to be like, oh, well, obviously they're using blah blah bacteria to make the purple ones. I don't have that data on hand in my head. But I do think it's cool how the scientists behind it are actually, you know, figuring that out.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, like, you know, I know a lot of people get mad about glowfish, and they get, you know, like I said, I just, pardon the pun, I got bigger fish to fry than some people adding the fluorescence to a fish, like I just, our whole ocean is acidifying,
Right.
and like people are spending their energy being mad that there's a fish that glows under black light,
Right.
and I'm like, could you please put your energy towards something that could help
Right.
something, like if we're supposed to be educating, why aren't we talking about the ocean acidification? Like it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a reality that people could test at home.
Yeah.
Gas your reef tank with CO2 and then tell me what happens. It's like you could test that at home. You could see that. That's
Yeah.
our ocean.
Yeah.
Like, and I personally, people get upset about like, whether it's global warming, because they'll stand outside and say it's cold, right? Like it's snowing out here. How could there be global warming? And it's like, you do realize that you're just attacking the moniker. Like you're just attacking the name, like the validity of what something was named, right? It's like the Ford Pinto, it's like, but it's not a pinto bean. What, so how could it be a car? Look, it's not like a pinto bean at all, and it's like, okay. So then, they have to change the name from global warming to climate change so that people could comprehend it easier and stop arguing about the word warm.
Right.
Right. But then it's like, oh, well, the science isn't settled, and it's like the science is never settled.
Right.
So that's not an argument whether or not the climate is changing or not.
It's a main it's necessary for science to not be settled.
Yeah, it's the whole function of science.
That's how you define, it's part of the definition of science.
Right. Like they haven't even settled on gravity.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Like, I mean, the gravity isn't, they're not like, oh, well, here you go. Here's all the gravity and that's it. That's,
Right.
So since that's all we know, it's settled. It's like, no, we need to conduct more experiments to continue to find out what's going on with gravity. Right. But
Right.
that's what science is. Like, that's how science in its own right operates. Like, and it's a main function of the operation of doing science.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. But
Well,
yeah,
and-
I mean, that's just, that's my own little interjection of like, I don't know much about the glowfish specifically because I think it's a gigantic waste of time. Although, as I said in the show earlier, I've been wrong many times. I'm consistently misspeak or say something wrong and maybe it didn't come out right and that kind of stuff. Like I've been wrong many, many times. And maybe we'll find out that global warming is caused by the existence of glowfish because of the, GMO modifications they've been doing, maybe, but I really doubt it,
Well, and then I'll just say one more thing about the glowfish and glow bettas and glow whatevers. So I have a friend who knows that I like aquariums and aquarium keeping and know things about fish and breed fish and just all kinds of stuff. And so she decided that for her family, she was going to get a fish tank and they wanted something with a lot of color. And I said, hey, cause she's lives up north. I was like, hey, if you want to see a bunch of kinds of fish, you don't have to go buy these. You can go to the aquarium co-op because they have a lot of variety of fish in a lot of colors and stuff. And she's like, well, I was thinking about glowfish. I was like, before you buy glowfish, just go and look at these other fish. And she did, and she wasn't sold, and she went and they went with glowfish, which is fine. It's totally fine. She's got plastic plants. She's got psychedelic gravel and glowfish, and that's what makes her happy. And so she asks me all these questions further on, like, why is my tank doing this? Why is my tank doing that? And then eventually she was like, is there like a group that I could join? And so I pointed her to aquarium group support because those people are generally pretty nice. Now, the only thing is that the general populace, especially in most of the online groups that I'm familiar with, look down on her particular family's choice of fish keeping with the, like I described, plastic plants, psychedelic gravel, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And so anytime that, Like one time somebody posted a saltwater fish. It was like a, what are they called? A parrotfish. The really like bright green and magenta and the ones that eat the corals. Was like, show me a freshwater fish like this. And she said, oh, glowfish. And then everybody just ripped her to shreds right there on the spot. And I was like, okay.
Well, I think,
That's not a really good introduction to this community.
right. I mean, that's, that's ultimately like a kind of one of my issues, from time to time is that, and I've definitely had honest, awesome contributors to the channel are like, hey, maybe try this so we could get more subscribers or something. Try this so that we could do, we could optimize more views or this and that and the other thing. Mm-hmm. And I think honestly, like, I'm kind of at the point right now where I don't want a bigger community because then it turns into like I have to start policing that kind of stuff where everybody's just yelling at one person that's just like, hey, I'm new and I thought this was a thing, and then everybody just gets screamed at, and so I don't know that I'm like hyper motivated to like super grow the channel because of that. You know what I mean? Just because of that thing,
right?
Yeah. That's kind of why like I've started doing these like Bob Ross type videos or whatever. Like, hey man, if you don't like this chill out, just aquascaping, then get out of here. Like, and they do. They just leave. They're like, oh, this sucks. I hate this. Bye. Right. I'm gonna go yell at somebody on Twitter. Like, okay, bye. So, yeah, and that sucks, man. Especially with somebody like getting into the hobby, and it's like they probably don't even know that like, oh, you could build a natural aquarium. They probably don't even know.
She I mean, she's aware of it because I've shown her my tanks.
Right.
But she also has this conception that I haven't been able to break her of that like if you put a lot of plants in your tank that you have to do more water changes. And I'm like,
no.
That's the opposite.
What's the opposite? Pretty much, yeah. Generally speaking, it's the opposite. Grow a lot of plants in there, you won't have to do a lot of water changes.
Some.
The furthest I got with the 240 was on the brink of like 6 months, right around there. Didn't have to do a water change. But then I was like, I got to do one. I couldn't keep it going. I was trying to do that biotope and like hit that thing for a year. But it didn't happen. So I never made the video about it. So I just kind of like have a bunch of videos up recordings about that tank, but it's like it never hit the year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've 6 months is an achievement, I guess, but it's not a year. I feel like something you have to kind of do something for a year for it to be real. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with my brain, but
it is something special when you've been keeping something going for many years.
All 4 seasons.
Yeah. Or just like for many years. Like
well, yeah.
Like my favorite bristle nose, he's 6 years old now. And that's, I'm like, dang, good job, guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many hundreds of plecos you've sat on.
Nice work, my guy. All right, so you guys have, some people have noticed the 245 floating around up there, but I would like to welcome It's Nature Man to the Patreon, and now we go to 246.
Oh, nice.
So that's what these numbers are about up here. The big one down here is the YouTube, and the little one up here with the peanut is Patreon. We're up to 246 members on Patreon, which is about 50 less than the high water mark, but hey, people come, people go, and that's a reality. I do have a message here from Alyssa Bentley.
Oh, yeah, well, because I just noticed that you can do messages.
Yes, there is a direct messenger on Patreon. So if you do become a patronizer, you can message me directly. Oh wait, I need to go back to the last page. We have 2 new members. We had a new member on Saturday?
I don't know.
Or Friday? You don't know? Why don't you know? You should know.
Because I don't have.
But we have a brand new member, Brian W. Brian W. coming in hot over the weekend, and we weren't doing a show, so thank you very much, Brian. And I can't remember if I gave Alf a shout-out, but I think I recall. Oh, it's not the weekend. Today's Friday. I keep thinking today's Monday. It's not Monday. It's Friday.
Isn't that weird? That happens? That's
yeah,
weird.
so while I wasn't live streaming, Brian, midweek, not weekend. But we welcome the weekenders if you want to become a member. Thanks. So we post those numbers up. We give the shout-outs. We remind people that there is a messenger on Patreon. A lot of people don't use the messenger on Patreon anymore because when you become a patron, you can join the Discord.
Yay!
Which the Discord's a 24-hour chat with, I don't know how many people are in there.
I think personally the best.
I have to load my Discord because I crashed the computer right before before we went live today. Let's see, what do we got? 140 now. We were up. Some people left, and then we went back down.
Oh.
I think generally the people that leave are like, I'm tired of dealing with this progressive nonsense from this dude. Trump's my hero. I must evacuate, which is fine. Hey, everybody's allowed to like whatever you want to like.
Leave the Discord?
What's that?
People who leave the Discord?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Oh. Or they just can't keep up with the constant vibrating of the phone in their pocket.
Right. I've literally turned off the notifications from the main. So the other channels I have it turned on. Mm-hmm. So like if somebody posts in the project channel, like I get a notification for it. I'm like, oh, what's going on over in the project area? Because main is pretty much.
Now you guys know, you guys.
It's not nonstop.
You guys now you know.
It's
if you need to bother him, you can just post it in any other channel.
If you need to bother me, you can just direct message me on Discord.
Well, now you're just talking logical sense.
Yeah, I'm saying like, post projects in the projects page. That's what it's for. But like the other channels, main is kind of chatting pretty much nonstop. I mean, it's not a constant flow, but there's some slow days, but then there's busy days. But yeah, there's always stuff going on in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Punchy Paints is here. We have and Joel JZ, our two moderators of the day. We've got two moderators now. I'm wondering if I should get another moderator someday. You guys let me know if you think I should get another moderator someday, because a bunch of ours have left. They've gone idle.
I mean, technically, I'm a moderator.
We've got like Alyssa. We've got Joel. We've got Punchy Pam. Like Bentley's one, but he's never.
He didn't want to be a moderator.
He's what you call AFK. Well, he's just a moderator so that he could post links or whatever to his videos and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, no, I don't know. We don't normally get like a lot of crap in the chat anymore. I think we've banned enough. Dropped the ban hammer on enough people,
I'm okay with that. Freedom of speech is for the government.
What's that?
Freedom of speech is for the government.
Well, it's to stop the government from controlling your speech, which is interesting because of the coronavirus. Apparently now the vice president, anybody that from the science community that's going to talk about the coronavirus, it has to be vetted through him first before they can release it. So they can't talk to the press or anything like that, which I found to be a big warning flag.
Yeah.
That's what came out yesterday about coronavirus, is that you have to go through Mike Pence before you can release anything about it. And that's the scientist.
Not exactly the most scientifically minded individual.
No, he's not science man. He's Jesus man.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Pooh Wee with a $2 super chat says, "My butt makes noises."
Okay.
And the name's Pooh Wee.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a solid troll, I have to admit. That's a solid. I'll give you a thumbs up on that one. That's pretty good. I mean, if you're going to spend $2 to say my butt makes noises, it all goes back into production of making more videos. So
I mean, you're the one who makes fart noises.
I mean, I make fart noises with my mouth constantly during the show. So, hey. Let's get to our Patreon because we got a bunch of Patreon stuff. You guys will notice that I'm hitting the heart button over here on the Patreon, because then it lets people know like what's up, what time. So it's 12:54 p.m. our time, that we got to their thing, and they could always just teleport within the live stream and hear what we said about their post. Jessica Thiergartner, she spells it out for me on here, which is so,
It's helpful.
give me the phonetic spelling, and then I can get through it. Finally got the tank. 1 goldfish, 3 goldfish sorry, can't read today. Finally got the tank. 1 goldfish and 3 glowfish tetras. Not sure what I can add in it besides a bottom feeder. Any suggestions? It's a 55, by the way. Thanks, everyone. Not sure how to post a pic yet on the new phone, but I'll try. So if you want to post a pic on the Patreon, it's much easier to open the Patreon in the desktop on your phone, and then you can post things up.
Yep. That is true.
Yeah.
As far as suggestions, when they start changing things with the genes of a fish, I'm not sure if it's going to, and like what kind of goldfish, I don't know. But I would say add more tetras.
Add more tetras? That's your plan?
Yep, add more glow
Well, she's
tetras.
asking about a bottom feeder. What would you suggest in this
She
tank
said not
with a
just-
glowfish?
She said
Or
not
with a
just,
glowfish and a goldfish is what I was trying to say.
well, she said not just a bottom feeder.
Oh, not just a bottom? Besides a bottom feeder. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Crap. I don't know how to read or have reading comprehension today, so that's my bad.
Well, that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. Back me up. I need help. I need help.
Yeah, I would add more tetras to get that number up to 6.
I mean, if I got a 55 and it had a goldfish and some glowfish tetras, I would give one of them away. Or I would move them to another tank or something.
Do you mean the
Personally.
tetras or the goldfish?
One or the other.
Right.
I would maybe take the tetras and put them in a tank. If you have another tank, put them in a community. And
you
then
can even
maybe
put them
make
in with
more of
regular versions of their tetra type.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that I would either make a more robust glowfish tank or a more robust goldfish tank. I would do one or the other personally. And that's just kind of my style, because you could have goldfish with some bottom feeders and things like that. But there's not a lot of dither fish that are cool with a goldfish tank.
Right.
Goldfish seem so super derpy, but they kind of eat just about anything that gets close to their face.
Yeah, they will 100% eat baby bristlenose plecos.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
So I think personally, what I would do is just focus on setting up the tank as to one or the other is what I would do.
Yeah.
Especially since you got the tank for free. It's not I think you got it for free. I think it was just somebody was getting rid of the tank and needed you to take care of it and take them away. So I think that's what I would do, because with pretty minimal investment, you could buy a couple plants, a driftwood, or whatever you wanted to do. With not much of a financial investment, you could kind of just build whatever you want.
Yeah. And I mean, personally, with a 55, I don't like goldfish in a 55 just because they're so narrow. This way, from front to back, and
they're so skinny.
and I just feel like goldfish have a tendency to grow really long, and that makes it harder for them to turn around. And you don't ever want to have to see a fish have to go vertical to turn around,
Right.
That's always weird.
It's too much.
Yeah. So, and I think we were talking on the Discord at some point and mentioned something about popping down to Tractor Supply and get a little pond thing or something, for the goldfish. Maybe get him some friends.
I love popping down to Tractor Supply. Every once in a while, they have cowboy shirts on sale.
Ooh, pretty soon they're going to have baby chicks.
Oh, they're coming in, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think they've actually started coming in because it's the end of February is normally when they start showing up.
Yeah, it's usually around spring. Spring is next month, so...
What?
Spring is next month.
Is it?
Yeah,
Cool.
March 20th or something.
Tales from the Man Cave? Do you have it on your phone or no?
Yeah.
Okay, read that off. I gotta go pee, or I'm gonna pee my pants.
Okay.
I don't have a better way to say it.
Tales from the Man Cave. We've got a cool crystal shrimp. He says, very fond of my bee shrimps, which finally started breeding. Ooh, good job. I bought them from the Logeman Brothers shop near Hamburg. Okay. Hamburg, Pennsylvania? These shrimp are named after Caridina Logemani. Cool. Due to an unfortunate mishap on DHL's part, they sat in transit for almost 5 days, and I was sure they wouldn't make it. However, 19 out of 20 recovered, and now, 3 months later, I have at least 40 bees in the tank. Dude, good job. That's really good. I'm so glad. I don't know. There's not really that much else to say about that other than that's a really good story. I like hearing about that kind of stuff. I personally have not encountered success with the crystal shrimps, and that makes me very sad because they're super pretty. And one day I will try again, but not for a little while. Let's see. I don't have my phone set up so that I can read chat, so I'm just going to talk about nothing for a little bit, I guess. I could... Wait. Okay. If I look over here... Wait, am I not on the right spot? Tales from the Man Cave. Just a second.
What happened?
I read the wrong thing. Sorry.
Tales from the Man Cave. It's got the Amano's army all the way up on the totem pole.
Right, my app keeps jumping me around so that I'm not on the right post. And I didn't realize that. Yeah, the one that I read is from February 16th, and that's forever ago.
Yeah, we're from February 25.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Amano's army all the way up to the totem pole. Well, actually, it's a lunchtime on a shrimp lollipop from Glass Garden. Which,
That's awesome.
I don't know if you've ever seen these, but the shrimp lollipops make these little sticks, and they actually work really, really well. As you can see, the Amano shrimps are going pretty wild for them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of Glass Garden products anyhow, as far as if you have shrimp. I'm a fan of their products, so it makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me, realistically.
Hashtag no sponsor. Bought it myself. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Hashtag no sponsor.
I don't have a sponsor, so.
I don't have a sponsor either, you know. So.
Right. Although I did
Where's
bring
that
you some
Bezos?
snails.
I realized that, like, Michael Bloomberg is spending so much money on this election. You know,
my
he
God.
could have just shaved off just a small portion of that, and we could have made all sorts of fish tank videos for you.
He's trying very hard to buy it.
Yeah, what happened? What's up with that? Actually, it's a tax write-off. That's why he's doing it.
Right.
Mikey Fishy sends this one in, and I'm going to hit the little heart button. Boom. Says, any ideas for what this is on my dragon stone? Or better yet, how to get rid of it? What do we got there?
It's kind of a blurry picture, but my instinct says it's one of two things. Either green spot algae or some kind of moss.
Yeah, we've pretty clearly got a bit of a moss infestation / algae infestation. It's kind of hard to see. Here's another picture of it that is kind of a little better demonstration of like what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think personally what I would do is pull this rock out and do some testing to see what kills this. Will give you a better idea of like what it is. Right. So if you use like hydrogen peroxide on it and it just suddenly dies, turns red, and you know dies off, you're like, oh, okay, it was an algae. If that doesn't like really kill it, give you kind of an idea, you might be dealing with something else. One of the things that kind of popped in my head, which I think is wrong, but let me look it up over here real quick. So, So, I'm thinking it might actually be, yeah. I think it might actually be one of the Caladiforas, not the one that you guys normally see. So the Caladifora that you normally see is what's commonly called a Marimo moss ball, but it does have some a bunch of algae related to it. And I'm trying to find what it is because Caladiphora, what is it? Glomerata, I think, is the normal one that you see. That's a Marimo moss ball. Or open the page, maybe? I don't know. Nope, I guess that doesn't open.
Nope, denied.
So, yeah, here we go. So, yeah, here we go. This green algae right here is Desmidids or Hydrodictyon, which I'm probably saying that wrong, or Volvox. There's quite a few, and so if you look up Caladiphora and head over to the Encyclopedia Britannica, you actually get, there's a good article on here, which I can't access because I have to do a free trial, I guess, to read the rest of it. There are a bunch of different kinds of Caladiphora, and one of them does grow very similar to this, where it starts out with that kind of dark green base, and it makes these little green poofties, whatever you want to call those, nodules, maybe might be a word that makes sense. I am blowing up. My phone is going bananas right now. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, that's just nothing. I'm kind of worried because Olivia has not been feeling well, so if I get messages that's like I got to go pick her up, that I might have to go get her from the daycare.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, what's going on with my phone? What happened? What's
all these texts? Gotta make sure nothing's on fire.
Yeah.
Nobody's dying.
So there are a bunch of Caladiforas that this does kind of look like, some of the cousins of the Marimo moss ball. Obviously, the Marimo moss ball is all brushy and does little doodle-loots, which I am battling so hard right now in the 240. BBA and Caladiphora have gotten so wildly out of hand. Again. Which is just like a punch. It's like a punch right in the crotchal region, if you know what I'm saying. I tried an experiment with Caladiphora, the Marimo moss ball, seeding it, and that was a bad idea. I should never have done that because it pretty much ruined that tank. And there's really only two options right now: to break down the tank and clean it,
right,
or just annihilate the tank. You know,
I think those are both essentially the same option.
Well, no, I just have to drop a lot of algicide, which is Seachem Excel is the one that I utilize.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, because it's a glutaraldehyde. Which I always say wrong when most people just say glut. They say glute, you know.
Really? Well, if I say glutes, I mean something else.
Butts. You mean butts?
I do.
Like the super chat from earlier? The butt fart super chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, so I'm actually just dosing that tank like every day with tons of algicide to kill it off, and about halfway there.
I have one tank that is essentially this crazy mixture of different species of mosses plus the Caladiphora algae plus what is it, the bladderwort and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I hate this tank.
Yeah.
I hate this tank. But I have like...
How many people are watching right now? Oh, we lost a bunch.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's my fault, I'm sure, because I read the wrong thing.
It's my fault.
But it's
because I farted in here.
You did?
No, not actually. But they don't know that.
That's true.
The internet doesn't know.
The sun came out just now.
Sunbeams. So
weird.
Anyhow.
That's why. Anyways, and so I look in there and I see so many teeny tiny baby fish living in and amongst all that, and I'm like, okay. Fine, I guess it's fine.
Now it's okay.
Yeah, I guess it's okay because there's tiny baby fish and it's just never going to be a beautiful tank. It's just going to be a filled up with small little green and then baby fish,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could live with it if you need to.
Yeah. I have other tanks. Other tanks that look better.
Yeah. But that's, it's life, so sometimes you just got to blast the thing and go for it and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, moving on to our next post. What am I getting invited to? I just got an invitation from my mom
Oh.
to go to something. I don't know. Okay. Lexi V sends us in a tank update at all the Anubicile.
Tank update. All the Anubias.
Yeah, I don't know how to read.
In here we have 7 kinds. There's also one Phoenix Rasbora that happened to sneak in with my chilies. It's cool though. It's part of the chili family.
Cool. Thanks, Alyssa. Something's wrong with my brain today.
That's okay. That's why I'm here.
Thanks for reading that out. But yeah, I'm glad to see all the Anubias.
Mm-hmm.
It looks super weird over here on this screen where I was trying to read it over here. I was like, Anubias soul. What's that? Oh, no, it's an exclamation mark. That's too small to read. Okay, got it. But yeah, it's awesome to get in 7 kinds. I would almost always recommend that if you have this much light on an Anubias tank, try to be providing some CO2. I think Anubias is one of those tanks or one of those plants that always just gets the I don't have to give it any CO2 because it's a slow growing plant. And let's be honest, it is a slow growing plant. That's a reality.
I mean, it's not a stem plant. And it's not a lotus.
Well, it's not a stem plant.
Right.
So, but it does need some CO2 to keep it rocking and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And you want it to be growing fast enough because the long living leaves of the Anubias, they get coated in a bunch of, algae film, basically, if the plant's not growing fast enough. And so that's one thing I kind of remind people, like, hopefully you can get some CO2 in here, or you can keep the lights to a really short photo period throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking short, 3 hours, maybe something like that. I've tested over the years to dial back the light, so like maybe you have the light only on like 10% and that doesn't work. If you still have it running for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours on 10% with like no CO2 or whatever, you still kind of end up with those funky leaves and stuff like that. And it's incredibly difficult to like clean the leaves off because they are still a plant, You can't just like take a pressure washer to them and hope that they survive, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always tricky to get in there and just like,
yeah, try
not
to clean.
too hard
Let me
though.
just gently clean these off. Oh no. Yeah.
The leaf came off in my
But
hand.
adding CO2 and some directional flow of the CO2 onto those plants will help them grow. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The fish keeperist with the Michael Scott avatar. Always got to have a laugh. We have multiple people with with avatars from the Office. Is always, it's an added little chuckle. Like, oh, that guy, that Michael Scott, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the fish keeperist finally went high tech, adding in some CO2.
Yep.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. You guys know I dig it. I think it kind of goes without saying. I love CO2. I'm working on some crazy CO2 system videos, which I don't know if they'll ever hit the light of day. Maybe.
Oh.
Probably.
I don't know, recently got into the CO2 game like 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and I like it. Justin hates it. Definitely have killed fish. That's why he hates it. Yep.
How are you killing fish?
If you overdose the CO2 and it crashes the pH, the fish can die. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
You're not checking your GH or your KH ever?
Well, every once in a while, sure. But sometimes it's like, usually what happens, the sequence of events is the diffuser gets clogged, and then I take the diffuser out First I crank the CO2 up because I'm too lazy to take the diffuser out and fix it, right? And then after a while, I'm like, I gotta do that. So I take it out, turn the CO2 off, and then I bleach it and scrub it and dip it and do all the things, and put it back together, turn the CO2 back on. It's already late, so it's not actually on. It's on the off cycle. And then the next day, it starts up again after I've left for work. And and I get home, and the tank looks astonishingly clear. And the plants look amazing, like they've grown twice as much throughout the day, but there's also no fish. And I'm like, oh. And also the CO2 is just blasting out of the thing, like, and that is what happened the first time that happened. That is exactly what happened.
I see.
Yep. And I lost my not quite breeding yet colony of L183 and Cistrus dolichopterus, which sucks so much. Plus my first try at Apistogramma hongsloi all died in that, plus their babies that had been swimming around in there.
Plus their babies.
Yeah. And I remember I had to, Justin was in class at the time, and I texted him and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait this cannot wait until you get home. This tragedy occurred. And he said that he almost left class and came home because he was so upset. And I was like, I feel bad that I made you so upset. I also feel worse that I did this to my fish. And it was hard. And I still have not kept Ancistrus dolichopterus again. Mostly because I am afraid. I'm afraid that I'm cursed with that fish now. And I don't want to kill anymore.
You don't want to kill anymore?
No.
Well, that makes sense.
They're so pretty though. Really wanted to make babies with those.
It's hard sometimes.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar with that, it's general populace. The L183 is the blue seam pleco. They're black and they've got little white spots, and then the tail or the fin and the dorsal maintain a white highlight with a bit of a iridescence to it. So it kind of looks blue, but isn't really. It's just the iridescence, but still. And so I was pretty upset that they did not survive.
Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, read off your post, because we could read it in your voice.
Okay. So the next one.
Because it's literally from you.
Right. It's from me. This was last night. I was...
It's from Alyssa Bentley.
Says, just a quick tip for people wondering how I can afford to feed so many baby fish, all the time. It helps that they will eat the leavings of vegetables that I am eating for dinner. And I just set out a small pot with water and set it to a low simmer while I'm slicing up the vegetables, and drop bits in there whilst chopping. Keeps food out of the landfill, makes one meal free for everyone. Meaning, they're just eating my garbage, basically. But they love it.
They're just eating my garbage.
Yeah. They go nuts for it. They just sit there and just chew on it all day or all night.
There's the pleco you were talking about.
Yeah.
You can make it bigger like that. Here's the pleco. It's not very high def, but yeah, you can see the iridescence when you make it big.
Uh-huh.
But if you put it up here real tiny, you can't see how iridescent it is.
Yeah.
See how small that is? You can't see it anymore because it's so small.
Yeah. Anyway.
What happened? Did you read your post?
Yes.
Was it good?
I thought so.
I like it. This is the same kind of thing that I have with the chickens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the chickens are always getting all of our extra food too.
Yep.
I currently don't really employ this method in my fish tank. Maybe I should. Maybe I should at some point. But I don't know if it's going to save me money because I already have too much fish food as it is.
Right. I do have a lot of fish food, and I don't actually remember how or why I have so much fish food because I don't really buy like flake food or anything, but I have a ton of it. I've got a ton of flake and I've got a ton of pellets, and I'll like randomly put my hand out and pick up a jar and be like, what is this? Cichlid pellets. What is it even? Oh, they're huge. Well, let's see who eats it, you know? and it's just, I don't know. Every once in a while I go through and I'm like, maybe I don't have to feed the high premium frozen this and frozen that and prepared food all the time. In fact, if I just feed Repashy all the time to my plecos, I find that they tend to get a little bit bloated.
Okay.
And so I started doing, feeding more with vegetables and stuff. And you know how when you cut up a cauliflower, you've got like the core of the cauliflower in it?
Mm-hmm.
And I slice it in half or in quarters and let it simmer for a little bit so that it'll sink. And then the plecos they just sit on it all day long and just eat it until it's gone.
Because you're not going to eat that part.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to eat that part. They'll eat it.
You could boil it down and put it in with like mashed potatoes or something, but
yeah.
whatever.
If I wanted to, I could rice that part and turn it into cauliflower rice, which is a huge, I was just going to say it's a huge hipster fad right now, and it is. And it is actually pretty good.
I love how it could be like a huge hipster fad to eat vegetables, right?
You eat
like suddenly,
vegetables?
Like, am I supposed to fall for this propaganda that, like, you know, y'all being hipsters, eating broccoli? It's like, it doesn't make me a hipster. It makes me a human that eats vegetables. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you that you're like attempting to ridicule me by eating vegetables, but okay.
Right. I've actually had like people in the like 60 to 70-year-old range be like, you voluntarily eat Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they're delicious. They're like, ugh. And I'm like, well, you can't just boil it. Really?
Yeah.
If you just boil it, they don't taste
It's a hipster
great.
thing to cook food properly, I guess.
Yep.
You're supposed to just boil the crap out of it until it's sludge, and then exclaim loudly how you don't like it.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it goes, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's how you make people eat their vegetables, is by making them as gross as possible.
Make them disgusting. Yeah. Let's see, Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do your craziest YouTuber hit the like button thing?
Hey guys, why don't you hit that like button? And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get all the notifications when people want to, you know, come up and say more things in your ear holes.
It was all right. I wasn't expecting that at all. All right. It worked. We'll get another subscriber. Michael Sarr sends this in. He says he made some isolation containers to put juveniles into to keep them from predating upon smaller siblings and just store them for sale. Yeah? Are you
Heck
familiar
yeah.
with this pan? This is a 6-inch, what looks to be a hotel pan, but it might be a half pan. This is what is regularly used in the food industry for cold storage of food.
Well, I have not. Well, okay. The only food industry situation that I was ever working in was when I was a seasonal help at Auntie Anne's Pretzels. And
That's
we
not
did
real.
indeed put the clarified butter in pans like this. Mm-hmm.
What are you guys making clarified butter for?
Because it was.
Oh, you're making clarified.
Yeah, because
I
they
was
just
thinking
dip the
Auntie
pretzels
Anne's
in it.
cookies. cookies. I was
No.
thinking the cookies.
Nope. Pretzels. You dip the pretzels in the butter, and then you
Once again, I'm
tap it
dumb.
in the salt, and then you put it on. Or whatever seasoning is going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh,
One
Ginger Graves
season,
is here.
Totally good. Oh, nice. Hi,
and
Ginger.
Chad Kratz and Lady Guinevere and Danikin Aquatics. God, there's a whole bunch of cool people here on a Friday. Sci-Fi Swordsman
Let's start up the barbecue.
is not a member, though.
Oh.
Sci-Fi Swordsman, not a member. I don't see
Oh.
the green name. Ooh. We
Well,
almost had all green names up here, but Lawrence Keebler, Sci-Fi Swordsman, and Jared Byer are not members. It was almost
gotta
all
love
green.
the
It
variety.
was almost all green, but we like variety around here, so that's good. Lady Guinevere was asking in the chat, how do I make sure my CO2 actually diffuses through the tank? I have a 29-gallon hang-on with a hang-on back filter and a couple of air stones running. Tested for CO2 levels, and it showed nada or nothing. Well, it depends on the time of day that you test, so you want to wait and make sure that your CO2 has ramped up. You want your CO2 to turn on before the lights turn on, because as soon as photosynthesis starts happening, the CO2 starts dropping. With how much is what's the word?
Saturating into the water column?
I like that. Saturation, why not? Let's go with that. With the saturation of CO2 in the water, it will start dropping off. So you want that to come up. Now, a little bit of advice, I wouldn't run too many air stones during the day when you're running CO2, but you can always run your CO2 in the path of the output from the hang-on back filter to help kind of spread it around, right?
Mm-hmm.
To start spread that CO2 around the tank. I think
Give it more time to be picked up by more plants.
mm-hmm. So you definitely want to spread it around, but if you are putting CO2 in there, sometimes the tests just don't work that well also. So keep that in mind. It's not the most, it just really isn't that most accurate of testing out there. Observation is going to be your best bet. Realistically, you just do kind of get better over time to make sure that you are figuring out, like, if plants are pearling, if things are growing and stuff like that. You'll get on the right path there. And Sci-Fi Swordsman says, sorry, I'm perpetually broke. Hey, I'm not calling you out. I was just literally saying that those are the non-members in the chat. So,
Right. Plus,
honestly,
trust me,
it's
I've
not
been
my
there.
goal. It's not my goal to offend you. If I did, so I'm sorry for that. It wasn't my intention, but I realized that it may have seemed offensive. But trust me, if I'm trying to be offensive, it's obvious. So it's way worse than what I was just saying. So trust me when I say it wasn't on purpose. 69 people watching right now.
Subtle like a sledgehammer with a nail in it.
Yeah. Yes. So, like, when I'm being nice, people always asking me, why are you so mad right now? And I'm like, I'm not. I'm trying to be nice. Damn it. Yeah.
Because nobody gave me a muffin yet.
Nobody gave me a muffin. I get me a muffin. Everybody's eating all the muffin tops. All I got to eat is stumps around here. Michael Sarr also sent this in. So here's a bottom view of the isolation containers to keep the juveniles in. So you can see that this kind of flows. It has an uplift tube on the external to keep kind of fresh water coming in, but nothing too aggressive. I believe that he floats these in his ponds, or maybe he uses this in his tank also. I'm not...
He was showing his ponds with it.
Yeah, so maybe he's using this in the pond. That's why it's so big. But I do love seeing this. I love seeing people kind of take something that exists and crafting it into something that actually works for what you need it to do.
Yeah.
I guess you'd call this DIY. I think likely people would give this the DIY moniker at this point. It's kind of...
It's edited enough from the store-bought product
Right.
to become DIY.
Yeah.
I want to know what he's using as a screen here to
It's,
cover these holes.
That's some stainless steel, I can tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can buy stainless steel mesh. So basically, like, old window screen is kind of... I wouldn't say it's better or worse or anything like that. It was just more expensive to manufacture, and you couldn't see through it as well. But this often is still sold at hardware stores for, like, screen doors and things.
Gotcha.
So things that need a more durable screen on them, you'll kind of find those in that area of the hardware store, you can find the stainless steel screen still that is really fine. And if you're lucky like me, sometimes you stumble upon it when they're doing a clearance sale on it, and so you buy like 5 rolls of it for like $8 or something. It was ridiculous. They'd marked it down from like $18 a roll down to like $1.33 or something silly like that. So I just bought a whole bunch of them and threw them up in my garage. So I always have rolls of the stainless mesh, which
Handy.
is idiotic realistically, because it just ends up like the crap that's sitting on the ground over here. Yeah, that's what happens. But you guys don't ever see that.
Just hoarding stuff, you know.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze there.
Because
I'm dying.
yeah, we all are.
And then here's the holes here. I am interested in how other people drill their holes, like in plastic. I had to sneeze again because I'm dying. I'm getting sick. I don't know if I'm getting sick again, but I've been like coughing and stuff, and I don't get it. So is Olivia. She coughed in my mouth. So I don't know.
That's why you're coughing.
Yeah, probably. But Michael Sarr sends this in also, which I am interested to see how some people are doing their how they're going about drilling their holes. That's what I wonder.
I can tell you how I do it.
How do you do it?
I set the thing down. It depends on if it's a flat thing. When I was doing my PVC pipe holes, I set it down on a hard surface, and then I took my drill to the right bit size, just a regular standard, like what I would use to drill anything else. And I just went, and then I came back in and out a couple times to clear it of the bits. And that's it.
Well, yep. Yes. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say that doesn't make me sound like, yeah, that's how, yep, that's how you drill a hole with the drill, and you make a hole. Yep. Got it.
I needed a hole in something, and there you go.
So here's the isolation container floating in his pond. Michael has a bunch of... I don't know. I'd like to work at your company sometimes. So here's Michael's isolation container in his ponds. He's got some of the IBC totes ponds that he regularly posts on the Discord and stuff. And that we've been keeping track of some of his projects and stuff, and now he's been posting some of them up on the Patreon, so you guys can get a look if you're just a regular YouTuber or whatnot, or you haven't been over to the Discord. So as you can see, he's got a lot of IBC totes outside with the top removed off, and he's definitely got some really cool projects regularly happening with that. So here's the isolation tank, actually, or the isolation container, I guess. It's not a tank. Isolation container in a tank pond. Pond tank. Tank pond?
Right.
Pond tank.
It's like
Tank pond?
It's like a large version of a breeder box.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. We like that. So here they are actually working. He's got some plants in there and stuff, and it seems to work out really well. Like I like the uplift tube to keep the flow going. Seems to be a much craftier idea than I think I would have come up with. I rarely do I think, boy, howdy, do I need an uplift tube. It never really, just pops into my head. So I appreciate that. I appreciate people using uplift tubes, because I don't ever think like, man, I should make an uplift tube. So shout out.
Heck yeah.
Shout out. Shout it out. We've got a post here from Tales from the Man Cave, which I really hope the Interzoo does happen, because we should be able to check out some, do an interview with Tales from the Man Cave and film some of the aquascaping at Interzoo, which he's been asked to do. Which this is a sponsored maybe post. Some of my prize swag for winning the PSC Pico Scape contest Came in from Elos today. Besides the tiny tank, I'm looking forward to trying out their very granular fertilizer line. Anybody have an experience with these? I have seen these bottles, and that's pretty much my experience with this fertilizer. I've never used it. I would love to get a chance to try it. I love to try out new stuff, see how it works, and try to pass it on to you guys so that maybe you got a question or you're like, hey, maybe you ran into it and you could check out a video and a honest review type situation. So I try to do that as much as as much as I possibly can. But yeah, I don't know. I've never tried them, and I'm not sure if I really know anybody off the top of my head that has. So I couldn't give you a lot of information other than this looks like a pretty sweet setup. I am interested in these tweezers. As you guys know, I am always on the hunt for either an upgrade or just a better tweezer.
Yeah.
And the ADA ones, you know how much I found out those were the other day? The angled tweezers, because I don't like the perfectly straight pin sets. Like, I don't like these perfectly straight. Like, I want it to be that
With the
45 degree. They're $180, and that's not happening in my lifetime, likely. Boy, howdy, I'm gonna need to book some more construction jobs, you guys. If I'm gonna buy $180, no, I can't do it.
I would far rather buy 3 $60 fish for that much money.
Well, the planting tweezers, I would rather just buy some that were $20.
Right.
Yeah. Because like Seachems, theirs are actually really nice for the price point. Because I think they were like $17.99 or $16.99, maybe $15.99, something like that. It was under $20, and they're really nice quality. So that might be just like the perfect middle ground from the super cheap planting tongs.
I definitely have a pair of planting tweezers, planting tongs that every time I pick them up and accidentally start using them, I go, dang it, why do I have these in my hand? And then I put them somewhere else and I go find the good pair. Because what they do is if you try to squeeze it, it bows in the middle and then the end part releases.
Like flares out. Yep.
And I'm like,
That's what happens when they get bent.
What is the point? Like, that's how they were when I first got them.
What's that?
That's how they were when I first got them.
Yeah, they're just probably bent. They're bent wrong. I've had to rebend a whole bunch of them over the years when they start doing that.
Yeah.
We got a $10 super chat from Ginger Graves, who's my favorite ginger. I don't know. I don't know any other gingers, I don't think.
There's the Zen ginger.
Somebody with red hair is probably going to get mad at me saying that. Oh, there's the Zen ginger, too.
Yeah.
Oh, we have two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should have known that. I
Two
haven't seen
gingers.
Zen ginger here today. Is Zen ginger here?
I don't know. You could check by doing the...
But it's a $10 super chat for Alyssa for the win.
Oh.
For just crushing the show and making us laugh with the laughing break, which worked. Yeah, very much appreciate it.
Thanks,
but Ginger is actually asking, WTF?
With what?
What are they made of?
Oh, I don't even know.
Those planting tweezers are $180, and they're really nice. I will say I've never held the bent ones in my hand. I actually own a pair of the straight ones. They were a present, and they are still in the package.
You just have them like get like a box frame or a shadow box frame for them, and just like put it up on your wall.
No, they'll be in a video very, very, very soon.
Gonna crack them open, crack the seal.
Well, yeah, they were a gift from somebody who's appearing in a video very soon.
Okay.
So it will make sense.
Okay.
It's part of telling a story, Alyssa. You know.
Well, I don't know. I hate story time.
Alyssa hates story time, and she only likes fart time. That's the only time that she likes.
That's not true.
When people are farting.
No.
Fart jokes. The Fish Tank Barn, a.k.a. Mike Howie, Which I wonder if I say his name right. I probably always say it wrong. Oh my god, I'm getting emails from my accountant.
Oh, that's
Oh my god. Oh god. We got to get our taxes done. Crap. I don't want to have to itemize all my purchases.
it's not April.
But that sucks. Either way, what?
It's not April yet.
I'm not doing the taxes in April, you I don't know what I was going to say.
Procrastinator?
Yeah. I think I was going to say donkey, but it doesn't make any sense because I've been listening to a lot of Minecraft videos while I've been working. I don't understand what happened to my YouTube. I clicked on a Minecraft video.
I miss Minecraft.
I almost want to just get back into mine. Well, okay, let me put it this way. I've never ever played Minecraft.
Okay.
I've literally, if I've ever played it, it was literally like I picked up somebody else's game for like 5 minutes and was like, oh, here's how you look around and here's whatever you do, right? Like I've never played it. I clicked on a Minecraft video that somehow got auto-served to me. I don't know why. It was just at the top of my feed, and then I was like, I don't know, what's this? And there's a super interesting guy. He goes by like Fit MC. It's super interesting. He tells all these stories about like this Minecraft server that's been around forever. It's been around for like over 10 years now, and it's an anarchy server. So whatever, it's just anarchy. It's just crazy. Like you do whatever you want there. And he just tells all these stories of all like that place. And it's just, I don't know. I like the guy's voice and it's entertaining. And I'm like, God, maybe I should Minecraft. I don't know.
Perhaps fittingly, my favorite Minecraft YouTuber, and here, but I haven't really listened to him in like 5 years or something, and he was called B-double-O something or another, and his whole thing was not the fighting aspect of Minecraft, but the creating cool things.
Well, yeah, it's like that's what Minecraft is. It's just
Right.
like creating stuff and then PvP, fighting other people that are trying to find where your thing is that you created so they can destroy it.
Right. And so you could go through and he'll just like tell stories about how he's creating these worlds and like this castle and this like crazy cliffside village and like, you know, and go back and visit like certain villages on his particular world. And now that I think about it, it's not that dissimilar from watching people sculpt their planted tanks.
Yeah. That was actually the kind of the parallel I was thinking about was like, how do I kind of Minecraft community explain to the Minecraft community that like Planet Aquarium would be like a real parallel to what they're doing, you know? So that's it's been on my mind. I've been trying to figure out how to do that. Because I realistically think like a lot of people that do Minecraft would be into a Planet Aquarium if you like got them going into it.
Yeah, it depends. A certain subset of people.
Well, obviously not all of them, but there's like 100 million people that play Minecraft. So
Right.
even if it was, well, I'm saying if it was 50-50, it's still like 50 million people. You know, it's a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yep.
I don't know. UG Aquatics says people make nuclear reactors and hadron colliders.
Oh,
on
yeah.
Minecraft.
I've seen like crazy puppet shows and that people have put on with different like things on strings and pulleys and just all kinds of people have made functional adding computers that show like you can put in inputs and then it'll give you an output that's correct. And yeah. And
Well, I just thought like if I could get on there and figure out how to play Minecraft, which I don't know how, and it seems surprisingly simple but surprisingly complex at the same time.
yeah, that's
But
how
I
I
was
would
thinking
describe
about
it.
making a giant Planet Aquarium as my base.
From experience, I would say that you could do everything except for fill it up with water.
Well, you could fill it up with water blocks.
Right, but it wouldn't be a planted aquarium at that point because it would just kill the plants. There's not like an underwater plants grow situation.
there's a new one coming out. Maybe it did grow underwater.
Maybe.
Don't get mad at me. I know you can make a giant glass box.
Right. You could get those chia seeds and put them on the substrate and
was
grow.
I was thinking because you could get the glass panes now instead of glass blocks, and you could make a giant planet aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't want it to be flooded because you drowned when you go into your base, but
Right. But if you put enough water in, you'll attract squids.
But you could also you could double paint it and fill that part with water, so it just looked like a giant blue box of water from the outside.
Uh-huh.
But then you go inside. Oh my God, it's a freaking jungle in here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. It could be done. I don't know. Someone's probably gonna steal my idea. Somebody's probably already done my idea. It's probably not that original.
Yeah.
But Mike Howie sends this in. The other day was the intersection between my YouTube channel, aquarium hobby, and my professional life. Below is a picture of my senior manager wearing a fish barn t-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Somehow he has become fascinated with my channel. He even walked around our building with it for a while.
Huh.
Lols. Look at that.
That's awesome.
Mike Howie's outfitting his boss with fish tank barn shirts.
I have not tried to direct anyone to my YouTube presence. Like, I barely talk about my hobby with people who aren't already in the hobby.
I personally don't have that many people that are just like friends of mine that are actually even into my content at all.
Yeah.
You know, even Vicky doesn't watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I have guests on here. Even when I have guests on here, she still doesn't even really watch this live show, the live stream or anything anymore.
Justin doesn't watch.
She doesn't watch my edited content either. She doesn't even have time for it. She's like, I don't have time for you. You're here anyhow.
Right. Yeah. But it's okay.
It's life, man. It's life.
Yep.
It's life, you guys. It's so hard out here living life, but I'd like to see the fish tank barn getting some props from the boss. We like that. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That sounds like job security to me. If your boss is interested in your hobbies, it sounds like a little extra job security, right?
Yeah.
And in this crazy world we're living in, that's always a good thing, right? Little extra job security, never...
A little bit more understanding when you have to take a day off to go and drive to New Jersey or something for some fish convention.
Yeah. We got a super chat here from Mr. Jay-Z all the way from New Zealand.
Heck yeah.
A two Kiwi super chat with a super fart. Not bad. Not bad. I wonder if everybody hit the like button. No, they didn't. They didn't hit the like button. But we did get a super fart super chat from our super fan in Kiwi Land. I want to move to New Zealand. Let's move to New Zealand. I hear the air is nice down there.
I would move to New Zealand, but I'd rather move to like Hawaii or something. Yep.
Alyssa,
Yes.
you shut your mouth.
It was shut.
What? Anyhow, speaking of not mouth shutting or whatever, let's keep talking about the Patreon posts here. Johan, our boy, all the way from where?
Netherlands?
Netherlands. Correct. Coming in hot and fresh. He is recovering from his pneumothorax, which I have also had, which is a collapsed lung, and the complications that come along with having a hole that's inside your body, which is not fun.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, so all my best wishes and best thoughts and whatever I can do. Yeah, been doing that. Really hope to go back to Netherlands this year, and it would be awful if it wasn't with Johan. So,
Right.
yeah.
But it sounds like he's doing better.
Yes. We see something here. if you remember the videos of his monster fish tanks, we see a slight difference here because we see the archer fish at the very top of the picture here.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of lush greenness. What is going on? Have I infected Johan with the planted tank virus? I believe I have, because as it says here, hey everyone, after being away for a while, I am back. Oh, we have a caller. Hold on, we have a caller calling in. Welcome to the show, caller. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, darn it.
Thanks for calling in to the show. What is it? What's happening?
Well, hello.
Oh, it's the lovely Victoria, everybody.
Everybody say hello to Vicky. Hi, Vicky.
Alyssa says hi.
Hi, Alyssa.
Yeah. What's going on, babe? What are you doing?
I was calling to talk to you about something that can absolutely wait. I
Oh,
completely
yeah.
forgot that you were on the show.
Oh, yeah. Friday show is full.
Go.
Friday's show has been full of...
With Alyssa.
It's
Yay,
been
me.
it's been full of farts and all sorts of stuff today. It's pretty
It
good.
really has, actually.
Just a pretty darn good show, I think.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
No, I was just calling to let you know that I tried to donate baby stuff today, and Goodwill does not take baby stuff.
Huh.
Huh.
Right?
America. We have like too much America stuff.
I guess so, and I was told, I asked if they knew where to take baby stuff, and they don't know, and I'm like, that's awfully sad if it has to go in the garbage, because it costs hundreds of dollars to take care of a child.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But you just shouted out to the whole entire internet that we need to know where to donate the baby stuff, and somebody will let us know.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Definitely-
Because this is an internet community.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
All right, anyways, you guys have a good day.
Okay, love you, babe.
Love you too.
Oh, you guys heard it. She said it. Oh, bye-bye now.
It's on the internet. It'll never go away.
We had a caller calling in.
It was very important.
Legitimately was like, uh-oh, is Olivia sick? Do I need to go get her? Nope. It's just Vicky calling in. And which is funny because we were just talking earlier about the fact that Vicky does not listen to the show.
I
and
know.
In fact, apparently doesn't even get notifications that the show is on. So,
And forgets
yeah.
that
So
every
that-
Friday at noon.
So that's happening.
Although, to be fair, it is 1:51, and that is quite a long show today.
Well, it's normally about 2 hours long, and this is our last post of the day. So
Oh, okay. That works.
y'all better get all your super comments and chats in and all that kind of stuff because the show is going to be over fairly soon.
Yeah. But, you know what? I think ending on a Johan post is excellent.
I think ending on a Johan post is just apropos. And I see him in the chat. There he is, my guy. Anyhow, so we're back to what we were talking about. It says, I am back. Finally feeling better after the collapsed lung. It's time for a new project, the
Heck
Planted
yeah.
Aquarium. My bigger and biggest fishes got new and larger aquaria, so it's time for some CO2. I'll keep you guys updated. I love it. I love to see that. You know what's awesome is I love to see, you know, when you see the bright side of kind of a difficult situation, because I know that Johan, he had to kind of scramble to get his fish adopted because he fell ill, and it was like, got to find homes for these fish because he had a lot of predatory fish that need to be fed on a regular basis. It is a little bit confusing and stuff like that, so he did simplify his life a little bit with you could have a lot of plants and stuff, and this could definitely simplify your life but still be really interesting. I honestly feel that way. I have an affinity for predatory fish and stuff like that, but I don't really have them in my life because it's like you could really like a pit bull, right? You love like pit bulls, like they're your favorite dog. But if you've ever been to somebody's house that has like 10 pit bulls, it is crazy. Like it is wild. You're like, whoa, the yard is all wild and oh my God, what is going on? The dogs are barking. Oh, there's a bird, and they all freaked out and try to yell at the bird, and there's 10 dogs barking. And I'm like, hey, I can see why people love this because it's the thing that they love, So I'm not somebody that's going to get down on him for that or really like do whatever. But a pit bull would not fit my lifestyle at all.
Right.
I would love to have like some African arowanas and like a Mabu puffer. I'd love to have a Mabu puffer, but I can't feed a Mabu puffer every single day. I don't. It's like Corey has the store. Like he has a Mabu puffer at the store.
Right.
People feed that puffer every day.
Yeah.
People
so come in to feed the puffer.
People come in to feed Murphy. You know what I mean? So
right.
people specifically will drive like 200 miles because they want to come.
People will fly here to visit Seattle and then take a trip to the co-op specifically to do that.
It's true.
Yeah.
We never even got the makerspace going. Never could fund it. Which is sad.
That is sad.
But I'm having to shift gears and change plans and stuff because, you come up with the ideas, you try to do it, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But that's okay.
That's
I'm not
okay.
mad.
People are adaptable.
I'm literally right now wondering what's going on with this email because I've been emailing with the tank manufacturer to possibly add some different tanks to the fish room. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I love Jason, but I can't deal with his one-man crew. Those timelines don't work for me. You know what I mean? When it's like 90 days out before he's even going to start working on it, like, I can't sign up for that. I deal with a lot of construction companies that have those timelines because they're so booked out. But,
Yeah, I know that if I needed something in an emergency, I wouldn't go with that. But wow, I like his work.
I love his work. I buy tanks from him, but
right.
I can't deal with the like. Oh, so I guess we'll get those tanks in July. Like,
and are you doing? I don't know if we want to discuss your whole project that's upcoming, but you're doing smaller tanks or bigger ones?
Well, I was going to do smaller tanks, and I talked to a glass, I guess straight up. I talked to UNS, but their contract was so not... It was so unfavorable to me that I was like, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah, I remember you talked about that.
So I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on some glass tanks that I wouldn't necessarily... want to keep long term, which is why I ordered that like beta tank because I wanted to see how well the little beta tank was, and I'm probably going to do some more of those little beta tanks because if I buy one a month, it's like $30 a month.
Yeah.
So,
can you sign up for the subscribe and save
I
on
wish,
it?
I wish if it was subscribe and save and I could get them for like $20 or something, that'd be rad. Dude. I probably would sign up for that. Because I even got a bag of Fluval today, the Stratum.
Yeah.
Because I am on the subscribe and save, and I think like a bag of Fluval Stratum on the subscribe and save was like $26 instead of
not bad
36 or something.
Yeah, I think they're usually 37.
Like $36.99 or something. I don't know what the prices are supposed to be, but
my tanks aren't in need of that much additional substrate, so I'm not doing that. Plus, I don't have really anywhere to store that much dirt.
Yeah, and my big thing is like, if I'm going to spend money on it, on a project, which obviously this is a project that I'd be spending money on, I want something that's going to last more long term than some glass tanks because I know at some point in time, everything is going to be moved from here. Some point in time, I don't know when, but at some point,
right?
It'll be like we got to move all this stuff to a new fish place. I don't know. And right now, Vicky and I are really, really in the middle of trying to figure out some important changes coming down the pipeline, whether we move to another place or something, all that kind of stuff is happening right now. So,
yep.
The last thing I wanted to do was spend a bunch of money on some glass tanks that I would not want to move.
Right.
Glass
is so much harder than acrylic to move.
It's way harder to move. And, when I was down with Ashley and Andrew down in Portland, they'd moved all their glass tanks just recently because they got a new place. They moved from Eugene to Portland, which is like 150 miles or something, so it's not like just around the corner, but you got to move all those glass tanks, and moving them was not easy,
Right.
is what I'm saying.
Honestly, even just moving acrylic tanks is not easy. But
Moving
it's
acrylic
even
tanks-
way harder with glass.
Moving acrylic tanks is not easy, but they're
Tanks
much
in
more
general.
they're much more durable.
Yeah.
They're much more durable. So, I can load them into the back of a truck and just put a strap on them, and just strap them down.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can't do that with rimless glass tanks because you put a strap on there and ratchet
just-
it down, they just break. you know.
Yeah.
So, they're just a lot easier to move. I can pick them up. So, a 120-gallon glass aquarium, I cannot pick up by myself. I could lift the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're like 300 pounds or something like that.
Right.
I can lift the weight, but not the size and plus the weight.
Yeah.
It's just like a really awkward lift, and I'll probably hurt my back again, which I do not want to do that. Just moving a fish tank, which means I got to get another person to get the other end. Then you got to put them in a truck or something like that, and it's just a lot. Whereas a 120-gallon acrylic tank, I can just pick that up and move it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
They're not that heavy. I mean, I think they're probably like 60 pounds or something like that, maybe 80 pounds. But it's like a bag of concrete,
Do you do the thing where you get like the extra strap around the other side and?
I don't have to. My arms are long enough, and just wear like work gloves to get a good grip. Just grab the corners, pick it up, carry it around. So, not that big of a deal. So.
Yeah. I can do those
if I was going to
I've
spend the money,
vertical.
which likely I am, I don't want to get something that is going to be a short-term aquarium. Plus, the resale value on acrylic versus glass. Acrylic is much higher. It's not going to be 100% or anything crazy like that, but you're looking at, you could probably resell the tank at about 60% of what you spent on it.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it in terms of, like, let's say you bought a 240 for like $1,000, you could probably sell it for 600. Pretty readily. Used acrylic, 240-gallon aquarium, blah blah blah, $600. Somebody will probably buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas a 240-gallon glass tank that was $700,
Right.
or
Now the resale value is 300 maybe.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're really lucky, because like all of the things I was talking about, like moving the tank is a thing. They're going to probably, whoever's going to buy it probably has to rent a truck, get some people, blah, blah, blah. There's just a ton of stuff that goes into moving that. So,
Yeah, it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
2 o'clock, bro.
Oh my gosh. We've been doing this for a long time.
It's a long show, but I want to thank everybody for coming out today. And, we always got to do this at the end. We got to say, what's up, Joel, Jay-Z, Ginger Graves, Pooh-wee, The Fish Tank Barn, It's Nature Man, Dakota Davies, Alvin Alejo, Fish Eye on Tanktix, Rumbust, and Big D Smoke. Thank you very much for all your super chats. And It's Nature Man, our new member for a Friday show. Yeah. And that's going to be the show for today. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Does this work?
I don't
How
know.
do I do this? Push buttons.